Google just handed its users something no AI company has ever offered before. Not a feature update, not a new model. Control. Last week, Google began quietly trialing something called Remy AI inside Gemini. And if this works the way Google claims, the entire AI assistant industry is about to get disrupted from the inside. Here is what most people think about AI personalization. They think it is a privacy nightmare waiting to happen. They think giving users more control means giving companies less safety. That is the false belief that is killing every AI assistant on the market. Because the companies that believe this are building AI that feels like a rented tool, one you use but never own, one that forgets you the moment you close the app. Let me tell you what Remy actually is. Remy is not a new model. Remy is a control layer built on top of Gemini. Think of it like a personal operating system for your AI. It remembers your preferences at a level current Gemini cannot. It learns how you communicate, what you value, and how you want information delivered. But here is the part most coverage is missing. Remy gives you the ability to audit and edit what it has learned. You can see exactly what your AI knows about you, and you can change it. That is a fundamentally different relationship with AI. Right now, every AI assistant you use is essentially a black box. It picks up signals about you, but you have no idea what it is storing, no idea what it is using to generate its responses. Remy flips that model entirely. Instead of AI learning about you in secret, Remy learns about you in public. You are in the driver's seat. But here is why most people are getting this completely wrong. They are treating Remy like a privacy feature. It is not a privacy feature. It is a competitive weapon. Think about the current AI landscape. OpenAI has ChatGPT, Anthropic, Meta has Llama. They are all competing on capability. Who has the smarter model? Who can answer harder questions? Who can write better code? Google just changed the game by competing on something else entirely. Relationship. The AI that knows you best wins. And Remy is Google's bet that the winner is whoever gives users the most control over that relationship. We have seen this before. When browsers first launched, they were all competing on speed. Then Firefox introduced tabs and extensions. Suddenly, users could customize their browsing experience. That shift in control created the most loyal user base in tech history. The same thing happened with smartphones. iOS won because it gave developers tools. Android won because it gave users freedom. Remy is Google making its AI bet on user freedom. Stay with me here, because this is where it gets interesting. Because the Remy trial is not just a Gemini update. It is a signal that Google has fundamentally changed how it thinks about AI. For years, Google treated AI as a search replacement, something you query, something that answers. Remy treats AI as a relationship, something that grows with you over time. Here is what the Remy trial actually includes. First, persistent memory with full transparency. You can see a complete log of every preference Remy has saved. Things like, you prefer bullet points over paragraphs. You work in the Pacific time zone. You are building a business and want advice framed around revenue. Second, behavioral nudges. Remy learns your communication style and mirrors it back. If you write in short, direct sentences, Remy matches that energy. Third, override controls. At any point, you can tell Remy to forget something, change something, or reset entirely. That last one is unprecedented. No major AI company has shipped a full reset button at this level. Think about what that means in practice. You can go into Remy and see it is noted you prefer short answers. You can see it has flagged that you work in marketing. Next time, you can see it has learned you start slow in the morning. And if any of that is wrong, you fix it directly. That is not how AI works today. Today, your AI is guessing, and you have no idea what guesses it is making about you. Now let us talk about what this means for OpenAI. ChatGPT has memory features, but those features are opaque. Users cannot see the full picture of what ChatGPT has stored. They cannot edit individual memories cleanly. They cannot audit the reasoning behind responses. If Remy ships to general availability, OpenAI will face a user expectation problem. Once users experience transparent AI memory, going back to the black box feels broken. That is what Google is betting on. The psychology here matters. The moment a user feels like an AI understands them, switching feels like starting over. All your preferences are lost. All your history is gone. That emotional cost is what creates lock-in. Not pricing, not contracts, not features. Familiarity. And for developers, this opens a completely different door. Remy has an API layer being tested with enterprise partners. Companies building on Gemini will be able to inherit user preference data with consent. That means your B2B AI tool could already know how your client communicates. It could already know their preferences before the first interaction. The onboarding friction that kills most enterprise AI tools disappears. The first company to nail AI memory with user consent does not just get a better product. It gets users who never want to leave. Now here is the fair skeptic case. Google has launched and abandoned more products than any company in tech history. Google+, Google Stadia, Inbox by Gmail. The concern is real. Remy could be trialed, celebrated, and quietly shut down in 18 months. That risk is real. But there is a difference this time. Remy is not a standalone product. It is infrastructure inside Gemini. Shutting it down would require ripping out memory architecture from their flagship AI. That is a different kind of commitment. Let me put this in numbers. Google has over 2 billion active users across its ecosystem. Even at 10% adoption of Remy features, that is 200 million people building persistent AI relationships with Gemini. 200 million people who will feel switching cost like never before. Every week someone uses Remy, the switching cost goes up. Every preference stored is a reason to stay. That is not a feature. That is a moat. The AI wars are not being fought on benchmarks anymore. They are being fought on loyalty. And loyalty comes from one thing: control. Google just gave its users more of it than anyone expected. The companies that figure this out first will not just win market share. They will make their users impossible to poach. The question is whether the rest of the industry will follow before it is too late. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe. We cover what actually matters in AI every week.